Okay, welcome. Coach Kevin here, and let's go ahead and get started. First thing I want to do really quickly here is share my screen with you, share some things that will help us today. First thing I want to share with you is we have a Facebook group that coincides with the meetup. It has the same name. I want to be really rich, and I do not apologize for it. We invite you to come join us. If you're in Facebook in your account, just go into search Facebook and start typing in, I want to be really rich and do not apologize for it. You'll find us. The other way you can find us is you can go to facebook.com/groups /I want to be really rich. So why would you want to join us? A few reasons. Reason number one, if we have any special announcements in relationship to the group, this is where they'll get posted. The other reason to do it is we take, as long as I remember to do so, and I typically do, we go ahead and record the Zoom meetings. So this is where you can find the previous meetings that you may have missed. And a lot of times we pick some material to go over and study. Sometimes the material takes a day, sometimes two, sometimes a week and a half or 2 weeks, depending on what it is. And this is a place where you can actually find that posted. But also, if we're in the middle of doing something and you want to get caught up with us, this is why you would want to be part of the group. So you can get caught up if you like to. The other thing is, if you happen to attend a particular day and you're like, wow, that was really cool. I like what was being said and shared and everything. And there's some things I want to remember about that, then this is where you can go back and review those things too. So hopefully you'll take the time to come join us here. And also, it's a place where we can interact a little bit outside of the 45 minutes or so we have together each day. Sometimes people will post their questions in relationship to what they were studying, and we can interact with each other there. All right. Next thing I want to share with you is we are currently in the process of studying a book um, called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So how I actually have a Kindle version. I think I even have a paperback version somewhere. I've read this book several years ago, multiple times, and decided to pull it back out because as we were moving along through what we're doing, I felt inspired. I felt through intuition that this was going to be a next thing for us to go ahead and go through. And so far, it seems to be a hit. So the power, not trying to make it a hit, but what I mean by a hit is people are learning from it and it's making a difference. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind PDF is what I typed into Google. And when I typed into Google, I know this looks funny, www.logocenter.org, blah, blah, but that is where I found a good copy of it. And you didn't even have to give your name and email address if you don't feel like it. What happens is you click this and it automatically opens up to the book itself. I'm not going to change to the front of the book. We're currently on page 27, but once you're open to the book, you can then go ahead and go over here and download it. So, but The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It's been written quite a while ago, so it's nothing new. However, it's a phenomenal book in telling us how our mind actually works. And if our mind is not helping us, it is actually working against us at a subconscious level. About 95% to maybe even 97% of what goes on throughout our day and the things that we do are those things that have been put on autopilot thanks to the subconscious mind. It's been programmed. Either we chose what program went in, or programs, I should say, because there's many, or somebody else did for us. And if we don't like the results that we currently have in our life, and we're trying to utilize the law of attraction to change those results, as long as our subconscious mind is fighting us and is in opposition to what it is that we want to receive and manifest in our life, we're not going to get it. So we have to learn how to make the subconscious mind our greatest friend instead of one of our worst enemies. Subconscious mind is neither good or bad, right or wrong, or mean or nice. It just is. It has a purpose, and its purpose is to take impressions, figure out what is normal for us, and then put those things on autopilot so we can move forward and progress and learn new things. The problem is if it thinks something is normal for us and we don't like what that thing is, we're going to stay stuck there until we are able to convince the subconscious mind that something else would be normal. Once it decides that something is normal for us, I keep saying for us, why? It doesn't distinguish good, bad, right, or wrong. And it doesn't utilize, when you think of what's normal, it's not the same as what you'd find in the dictionary. The subconscious mind is trying to keep you safe, and the subconscious mind is trying to put things on autopilot for you, and it makes its determinations of those things based upon what we've allowed to come in and what we believe to be normal, what it believes to be normal. Again, doesn't mean it's what we want. It doesn't use that definition. It uses the definition of what's normal. So we have to convince our subconscious mind that something different is normal. And the subconscious mind, in conjunction with the universe and God, will help bring us anything it is that we actually want into our lives, whether that be money or health, relationships, whatever it is that you want. It will help you. It will help put it on autopilot and make it easy. But if you're fighting against the subconscious mind, you will not win. So we're learning about how the subconscious mind functions, what its purpose is, and how that we can program it to do what it is that we want it to do instead of fighting against us. So that is why we chose this particular work. I'm going to go ahead and read and add commentary where I feel it might be helpful for a while. So we also leave time at the end of what we're doing for those of you who are new today to have questions and answers. You have the opportunity to share your comments, share your ahas, share your experiences with us, and also an opportunity to ask questions. Right now, I'm not going to be paying any attention to chat. So if you're typing things into chat, asking questions, I'm not going to stop to be reading those right now. What we'll do when the time comes is we'll actually be able to talk to each other, because I'll ask you to come off of mute and then share your comment or ask your question, and we'll go from there. But that'll be for the last 10, 15 minutes or so of what we're doing today. All right. For those who want to follow along with us, we're on page 27. Not page 27 of the book. It's probably a smaller number in the book, but page 27 of this particular PDF file. Okay. The power of an assumed major premise. Since the days of ancient Greece, philosophers and logicians have studied the form of reasoning called syllogism. And by the way, if I say things incorrectly, I apologize ahead of time. Not perfect by any means. Your mind reasons in syllogisms. In practical terms, this means that whatever major premises your conscious mind assumes to be true, that determines the conclusion your subconscious mind will come to, no matter what the particular question or problem might be. If your premises are true, the conclusion must be true. Let me repeat this, okay? Your mind reasons in syllogisms. In practical terms, this means that whatever major premises your conscious mind assumes to be true, that determines the conclusions your subconscious mind will come to, no matter what the particular question or problem might be. If your premises are true, the conclusion must be true. For example, every virtue is praiseworthy. Kindness is a virtue. Therefore, kindness is praiseworthy. Or this, all formed things change and pass away. The pyramids of Egypt are formed things. Therefore, the pyramids will change and pass away. The first statement is referred to as the major premise, and the right conclusion must necessarily follow the right premise. A college professor who attended some of my Science of Mind lectures in New York City's town hall came to speak with me afterward. He told me, "Everything in my life is topsy-turvy. I have lost health, wealth, and friends. Everything, excuse me, everything I touch turns out wrong." I explained to him that his problems followed logically and directly from his self-destructive major premise. To change his life, He had to establish a new major premise in his thinking. He needed to accept as true the conviction that the infinite intelligence of his subconscious mind was guiding, directing, and prospering him spiritually, mentally, and materially. Once he did that, his subconscious mind would automatically direct him wisely in his decisions, heal his body, and restore his mind to peace and tranquility. The professor formulated an overall picture of the way he wanted his life to be. This was his major premise. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. Perfect health is mine, and the law of harmony operates in my mind and body. Beauty, love, peace, and abundance are mine. The principles of right action and divine order govern my entire life. I know my major premise is based on the eternal truths of life. And I know, feel, and believe that my subconscious mind responds according to the nature of my conscious mind's thinking. Later, he wrote me the following progress report. I repeated the statements of my major premise slowly, quietly, and lovingly several times a day. I knew that they were sinking deep down into my subconscious mind. I was convinced by the laws of mind that results must follow. I am deeply grateful for the interview you gave me, and I would like to add that all departments of my life are changing for the better. It works. The subconscious does not argue controversially. Your subconscious mind is all wise. It knows the answers to all questions. However, it does not know that it knows. It does not argue with you or talk back to you. It does not say, you must not impress me with suggestions of this sort. When you say, I can't do this, I am too old now. I can't meet this obligation. I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. I don't know the right politician. You are impregnating your subconscious with these negative thoughts. It responds accordingly. You're actually blocking your own good. You're bringing lack, limitation, and frustration into your life. When you set up obstacles, impediments, and delays in your conscious mind, you're denying the wisdom and intelligence resident in your subconscious mind. You're actually saying, in effect, that your subconscious mind cannot solve your problem. This leads to mental and emotional congestion, followed by sickness and neurotic tendencies. To realize your desires and overcome your frustration, affirm boldly several times a day. The infinite intelligence that gave me this desire leads, guides, and reveals to me the perfect plan for the unfolding of my desire. I know the deeper wisdom of my subconscious is now responding, and what I feel and claim within is expressed in the without. There is a balance, equilibrium, and equanimity. On the other hand, if you say, there's no way out, I'm lost, there is no way out of this dilemma, I'm stymied and blocked, you'll get no answer or response from your subconscious mind. If you want the subconscious to work for you, you have to give it the right request and get its cooperation. It is always working for you. It is controlling your heartbeat and breathing this minute. When you cut your finger, it sets in motion the complex process of healing. Its most fundamental tendency is lifeward. It is forever seeking to take care of you and preserve you. Your subconscious has a mind of its own, but it accepts your patterns as thought and imagery. When you look for the answer to a problem, your subconscious will respond, but it expects you to come to a decision and to a true judgment in your conscious mind. You must acknowledge that the answer is in your subconscious mind. If you say, I don't think there is any way out, I am all mixed up and confused, why don't I get an answer? You are neutralizing your prayer. Like the soldier marking time, you use up vital energy, but you do not move forward. Still the wheels of your mind. Relax, let go. Quietly affirm, my subconscious knows the answer. It is responding to me now. I give thanks because I know the infinite intelligence of my subconscious knows all things and is revealing the perfect answer to me now. My real conviction is now setting free the majesty and glory of my subconscious mind. I rejoice that it is so. Review of highlights. Think good and good follows. Think evil and evil follows. You are what you think all day long. Your subconscious mind does not argue with you. It accepts what your conscious mind decrees. If you say, I can't afford it, your subconscious mind works to make it true. Select a better thought. Decree, I'll buy it. I accept it in my mind. You have the power to choose. Choose health and happiness. You can choose to be friendly or you can choose to be unfriendly. Choose to be cooperative, joyous, friendly, lovable, and the whole world will respond. This is the best way to develop a wonderful personality. Your conscious mind is the watchman at the gate. Its chief function is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. Choose to believe that something good can happen and is happening now. Your greatest power is your capacity to choose. Choose happiness and abundance. The suggestions and statements of others have no power to hurt you. The only power is the movement of your own thought. You can choose to reject the thoughts or statements of others and affirm the good. You have the power to choose how you will react. Watch what you say. You have to account for every idle word. Never say, I will fail. I will lose my job. I can't pay the rent. Your subconscious cannot take a joke. It brings all these things to pass. Your mind is not evil. No force of nature is evil. It depends how you use the powers of nature. Use your mind to bless, heal, and inspire all people everywhere. Never say, I can't. Overcome that fear by substituting the following. I can do all things through the power of my own subconscious mind. Begin to think from that standpoint of the eternal truths and principles of life, and not from the standpoint of fear, ignorance, and superstition. Do not let others do your thinking for you. Choose your own thoughts and make your own decisions. You are the captain of your soul, of your subconscious mind, and the master of your fate. Remember, you have the capacity to choose. Choose life, choose love, choose health, choose happiness. Whatever your conscious mind assumes and believes to be true, your subconscious mind will accept and bring to pass. Believe in good fortune, divine guidance, right action, and all the blessings of life. The miracle working power of your subconscious. The power of your subconscious is beyond all measure. It inspires you and guides you. It calls up vivid scenes from the storehouse of memory. Your subconscious controls your heartbeat and the circulation of your blood. It regulates your digestion, assimilation, and elimination. When you eat a piece of bread, your subconscious mind transmutes it into tissue, muscle, bone, and blood. These processes are beyond the ken of the wisest person who walks the earth. Your subconscious mind controls all the vital processes and functions of your body. It knows the answer to all problems. Your subconscious mind never sleeps, never rests. It is always on the job. You can discover the miracle working power of your subconscious by plainly stating to your subconscious prior to sleep that you want a specific thing accomplished. You will be amazed and delighted to discover that forces within you will be released that lead to the result you wished for. Here is a source of power and wisdom that puts you directly in touch with omnipotence. This is the power that moves the world, guides the planets in their course, and causes the sun to shine. Your subconscious mind is the source of your ideals, aspirations, and altruistic urges. It was through the subconscious mind that Shakespeare perceived and communicated great truths hidden from the average man of his day. It was through the subconscious mind that the Greek sculptor Phidias gained the art and skill to portray beauty, order, symmetry, and proportion in marble and bronze. The subconscious mind is the deep well from which great artists draw their awe-provoking power. It enabled the great Italian artist Raphael to paint his Madonnas, and the great German musician Beethoven to compose his symphonies. Some years ago, I was invited to lecture at the Yoga Forest University in Rishikesh, India, while I was there, I had a long conversation with a surgeon who was visiting from Bombay. For him, I learned the astonishing story of Dr. James Esdale. Esdale was a Scottish surgeon who practiced in Bengal during the 1840s. This was before either or other modern methods of chemical anesthesia, or before ether, there we go. This was before ether or other modern medicals or methods of chemical anesthesia began to be used. Nevertheless, between 1843 and 1846, Dr. Esdale performed some 400 major surgical operations of all kinds. These included amputations, removals of tumors and cancerous growths, operations on the eye, ear, and throat. All these operations were performed under mental anesthesia only. Patients said they felt no pain, and none of them died during surgery. Just as amazing, the mortality rate of Esdale's patients following surgery was extremely low. This was well before Western scientists such as Louis Pasteur and Joseph Lister pointed out the bacterial origin of infection. No one realized that postoperative infections were due to unsterilized instruments and virulent organisms. Nevertheless, when Esdale suggested to his patients who were in a hypnotic state that no infection or septic condition would develop, their subconscious minds responded to the suggestion. They set in motion the processes needed to fight off the life-threatening dangers of infection. Think of it, over a century and a half ago, this Scottish surgeon who had gone halfway around the world discovered how to use the miraculous, wonder-working powers of the subconscious mind. It is enough to cause you to be seized with awe. The transcendental powers that inspired Dr. Esdale and that protected his patients from mortal danger can be yours too. Your subconscious mind can give you independence of time and space. It can make you free of all pain and suffering. It can give you the answer to all problems, whatever they may be. There is a power and an intelligence within you that far transcends your intellect, causing you to marvel at the wonder of it all. All these experiences cause you to rejoice and believe in the miracle working powers of your own subconscious mind. Your subconscious is your book of life. Whatever thoughts, beliefs, opinions, theories, or dogmas you write, engrave, or impress upon your subconscious mind, you will experience them as the objective manifestation of circumstances, conditions, and events. When you write on the inside, or what you write on the inside, you will experience on the outside. You have two sides to your life, objective and subjective, visible and invisible, thought and its manifestation. Your thought is received as a pattern of neural firings in your cerebral cortex, which is the organ of your conscious reasoning mind. Once your conscious or objective mind accepts the thought completely, it is transmitted to the older parts of the brain, where it becomes flesh and is made manifest in your experience. As previously outlined, your subconscious cannot argue. It acts only from what you write on it. It accepts your verdict or the conclusions of your conscious mind as final. That is why you're always writing on the book of life, because your thoughts become your experiences. The American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Man is what he thinks all day long." What is impressed in the subconscious is expressed. William James, the father of American psychology, said that the power to move the world is in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is one with infinite intelligence and boundless wisdom. It is fed by hidden springs and is called the law of life. Whatever you impress upon your subconscious mind, the latter will move heaven and earth to bring it to pass. You must, therefore, impress it with the right ideas and constructive thoughts. The reason there's so much chaos and misery in the world is that so many people do not understand the interaction of their conscious and subconscious minds. When these two principles are in concord, in peace and synchronicity together, you will have health, happiness, peace, and joy. There is no sickness or discord when the conscious and subconscious work together harmoniously and peacefully. In the ancient world, Hermes I know I'm going to say this wrong, Trismegistus, had the reputation of being the greatest, most powerful magus the world had ever known. When his tomb was opened centuries after his passing, those who were in touch with the wisdom of the ancients waited with great expectation and a sense of wonder. It was said that the greatest secret of the ages would be found within the tomb. And so it was. The secret was, as within, so without, as above, so below. In other words, what you impress on your subconscious mind, that becomes expressed on the screen of space. This same truth was proclaimed by Moses, Isaiah, Jesus, Buddha, Zoroaster, Lao Tse, and all the illuminated seers of the ages. Whatever you feel is true subjectively is expressed as conditions, experiences, and events. Motion and emotion must balance, as in heaven, your own mind, so on earth, in your body and environment. This is the great law of life. You'll find throughout all nature the law of action and reaction, of rest and motion. These two must balance. Then there will be harmony and equilibrium. You're here to let the life principle flow through you rhythmically and harmoniously. The intake and the outgo must be equal. The impression and the expression must be equal. All your frustration is due to unfulfilled desire. If you think negatively, destructively, and viciously, these thoughts generate destructive emotions that must express and must find an outlet. These emotions, being of a negative nature, are frequently expressed as ulcers, heart trouble, tension, and anxieties. What is your idea or feeling about yourself now? Every part of your being expresses that idea. Your vitality, body, financial condition, friends, and social status represent a perfect reflection of the idea you have of yourself. Let me repeat this. What is your idea or feeling about yourself now? Every part of your being expresses that idea. Your vitality, body, financial condition, friends, and social status represents a perfect reflection of the idea you have of yourself. This is the real meaning of what is impressed on your subconscious mind and what is expressed in all phases of your life. We injure ourselves by the negative ideas we entertain. How often have you wounded yourself by getting angry, fearful, jealous, or vengeful? These are the poisons that enter your subconscious mind. You are not born with these negative attitudes. I think this is meant to say seed instead of bead. Your subconscious mind, life-giving, or feed, there we go. Feed your subconscious mind. There's some errors here in the book. Feed your subconscious mind life-giving thoughts, and you'll wipe out all the negative patterns lodged within it. As you continue to do this, all the past will be wiped out and remembered no more. All right. I think I'm going to read a little bit more and then we'll go to questions. The subconscious heals a malignancy of the skin. The most convincing evidence anyone can have of the healing power of the subconscious mind is a personal healing. Over 40 years ago, I developed a malignancy of the skin. I went to the finest doctors who tried the most advanced treatments medical science could offer. None of these helped. The malignancy got progressively worse. Then one day, a clergyman with a deep store of psychological knowledge told me the inner meaning of the 139th Psalm. He called my attention to the passage that reads, "In thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them." He explained that the term book meant my subconscious mind, which fashioned and molded all my organs from a tiny original cell. He pointed out that since my subconscious mind had made my body, it could also recreate it and heal it according to the perfect pattern within it. This clergyman pointed to his watch. This had a maker, he told me, but before the watch could become an objective reality, the watchmaker had to have the idea of it clearly in his mind, or clearly in mind. If for some reason the watch stopped working as it should, the watchmaker's idea of it would give him the knowledge he needed to fix it. I understood what he was trying to tell me by this analogy. The subconscious intelligence that created my body was like the watchmaker. It knew exactly how to heal, restore, and direct all the vital functions and processes of my body. But for it to do this properly, I had to give the perfect idea of health, give it the perfect idea of health. This would act as cause, and the effect would be a healing. Okay, let me repeat some of this here. It knew exactly how to heal, restore, and direct all the vital functions and processes of my body. But for it to do this properly, I had to give it the perfect idea of health. I had to use my conscious mind to decide that. This would act as cause. It would be a cause on the subconscious mind, and the effect would be a healing. I formulated a very simple and direct prayer. My body and all its organs were created by the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind. It knows how to heal me. Its wisdom fashioned all my organs, tissues, muscles, and bones. This infinite healing presence within me is now transforming every cell of my being, making me whole and perfect. I give thanks for the healing I know is taking place at this time. Wonderful are the works of the creative intelligence within me. I repeated this simple prayer aloud for about 5 minutes, 2 or 3 times a day. After some 3 months, my skin was whole and perfect. The malignancy had vanished. My doctor was baffled, but I knew what had happened. I had given life-giving patterns of wholeness, beauty, and perfection to my subconscious mind. These forced out the negative images and patterns of thought lodged in my subconscious mind, which were the cause of all my trouble. Nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. As you change your mind by drenching it with incessant affirmatives, you change your body. This is the basis of all healing. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul, subconscious mind knoweth right well. You repeat this. Nothing appears on your body except when the mental equivalent is first in your mind. As you change your mind by drenching it, I like how drenching it, with incessant affirmatives, you change your body. This is the basis of all healing. Marvelous are thy works, and that thy soul, subconscious mind knoweth well. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop there for today and come out of screen share here. And grateful for all of you that joined us since we got started. Welcome, welcome. Grateful for any and all of you that are here for the very first time. Again, we welcome you. So what we do now is this is your opportunity to share your comments, to share your experiences, to share what you've been learning. And particularly what we'd like you to share if you've had any successes in utilizing the law of attraction to manifest positive things in your life. If you got any stories you like to share, that's great. The other thing we're here for is to answer questions. Questions around what we've been studying today, and also questions in relationship to manifesting more money and wealth in our lives. So what we do at this time is I just allow you guys to go ahead and come off of mute and start sharing. First person to share will go first, and so forth. If two of you jump in at the same time, I'll take one of you and then let the next person go afterwards. But now is the time. Just come off mute and share whatever it is that you like to share, or ask whatever question it is you'd like to ask.
I have a question.
Okay, hi.
Hi there. So I am going to visit. I have an old friend that I just discovered is living homeless in Texas. I like what you said about your outside reflects your inside. I get your inside reflects your outside, right? Your situation and everything, your body and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
whatever is going on the inside, which is essentially in our mind, right, will be reflected some way on the outside.
And you can program children by, if you say you're never going to be anything but a juvenile delinquent, that's what they're usually going to grow up to be. Mm-hmm. Can I influence this person by giving a lot of positive affirmations to them, like to strengthen their feelings about themselves?
You actually can. So what you just said was good in the sense of a lot of positives to help strengthen them. What we don't want to use affirmations for on others is to get them to do what we want them to do. So what you just said is yes, that's definitely a good way to do it. But let's say, for example, I don't know what you do for work or for business, but let's say there's someone out there that you're dealing with right now, and you feel like they have to do a certain thing in order for you to get what you want. Trying to push them to do that thing through thoughts and affirmation, not the way to handle it. Trust God and the universe to deliver. And if it ends up being delivered through that person, awesome. If it doesn't, that's okay too. Okay. But what you're talking
You're
about
taking
is
away
if
their
somebody,
free will.
yeah, don't mess with people's free will. However, if there's someone out there that's a friend, like you talked about, family member, whatever, and things aren't going necessarily as well for them as they'd like it to. And I mean, you can even sort of ask you don't have to, but sort of ask their permission. They might actually like it in the sense of knowing that you care about them enough to think good thoughts. And yes, when you do put vibrations out towards someone that are positive, it does have a lifting effect. Um, if they're constantly counteracting those, you're being positive, they're being negative, there won't be a whole lot accomplished. But if they start feeling love, that's why people that do things, prayer chains or circles or things with more than one person putting thoughts, towards someone else, why there's a power to doing that. If everybody's united, if there's people that aren't united, you don't want them around that because they're going to actually negatively impact what you're trying to accomplish. But yeah, it's always a good idea when you think about anybody to see them in the best light possible.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any additional questions or comments? I'm sure there's got to be something. Because I make the assumption everybody has everything they want in life right now if there's no questions.
Hi, Kevin. It's Sakira.
Hey.
Hi. I don't really have a question. It's kind of more like, I guess, gratitude for you because listening to these programs every day, it does help a lot. One of the things that I manifested, I was actually in a Range Rover this weekend.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then a couple days before that, I was in a Maserati. So it's not mine, but I'm noticing that my vibration rather is attracting people that have the thing I want. And so when I'm in the car, I kind of pretend that it's mine. But here's one thing I noticed: the person has a really bad negative disposition. And it's like, wow, money should not equate negativity, but I'm noticing that I'm getting people with all types of bad energy, even though they're billionaires, and I don't want to become like that. So how do you?
So you're attracting them. Here's an interesting thing. What you're attracting. Do you believe there are people out there with that kind of money that are happy?
Absolutely.
Okay. And yet the people that you've been attracting, they're having the wealth right now, but they're not happy. That's what you just said, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and I'm not saying you're not happy, by the way. That's not what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say, though, is that your subconscious mind has been convinced that people with money aren't happy. So you've bitten out, but take this as success. So now you're successfully manifesting people in your life that have money and things that you want. But the ones that you're manifesting in your life are also going there, and you're attracting the grumpy ones.
They're jerks, plain and simple.
Yeah, you're attracting those people because that is what your subconscious mind has been programmed to think of wealthy people. Like when I spend again, it's not always been this way, but when I spend my time around people that are, millionaires and multimillionaires, and we have conversations or we're together doing things, they're all nice. Not just because they're friends, even if they're people that I haven't met before. But if I would have done this years ago, you know, I would run into people that weren't like that. But my program is that in general, I deal with nice people.
Okay.
So if, so relationships for me, I don't have a lot of rifts with people.
Okay.
And I tend to, if I do have something that happens with somebody, I'm really quick to forgive
Okay.
it, because I know it partly, I guess it's my nature now, but it's my program now because I know it's going to destroy me to be upset at someone else.
Right.
So why would I want to take the time to do that? So I guess what I'm saying is whether I attract people into my life with a lot of money for the day or people with little money or whatever, I
Mhm.
tend to still attract people that are, at least with me, have a pretty good attitude. Now they could be grumpy at something else, but they're definitely not that way with me.
Okay.
Are these people that you spend time with? Are they like, hey, get in the car, you
Yeah, it
get
was
your
a
ass in
date.
the get your ass in the car, I'm trying to get out of here, or are they being nice?
It was a date, kind of like we discussed with the whole I want to attract, marriage
Okay.
and everything. And I went out with this man, and he got a lot of money. He's very financially stable, but his demeanor is awful. Like he was misogynistic. He was not a gentleman, and
Okay.
I'm like, that's not no.
Okay. Money.
So,
Yes. So now what you've got to tell your subconscious mind is money had nothing to do with that.
oh, okay,
Money had nothing to do with how they acted towards you or
really,
towards the world. Okay. Now there might be some people, but money tends to turn a person into more of what they already are
mm-hmm.
because you have more choices. You have more options. You can do more things. So if you're a pain in the butt to be around and you get money, you tend to be a bigger pain in the butt. If
Right,
if you're a nice person and you get more money, you tend to be nicer.
right.
It's just more of a magnifier than it is of a determiner. Now
Okay.
we can get sucked up into things, but again, the reason we do is because we've been programmed. Okay, you got to go through this process, and then eventually you got to, you know, you got to be the rich jerk before you can be the nice rich person. No, you don't.
Yeah.
But if you have that fear, then either you won't become rich because you think that rich people are all jerks,
Right.
or you become a jerk because you think that all rich people are jerks and you want to
Oh
be.
no! I could never be a jerk.
No, I know. I know that. I totally get
I,
that. But and also if you go back to, I don't know if you were with us when we were going through the science of getting rich.
yeah, I was. Mhm.
Okay. So the person probably, I don't know for sure because I don't know who this person is or these people. Was it a person or multiple people?
Oh, hey, just one
Oh,
awful.
all right. That's okay. So you bet the one rich jerk. That's cool.
Yes,
Now you don't have to anymore.
that's it.
But going back to the science of getting rich, typically too, when people acquire their success in a competitive way versus a creative way,
Mhm,
a lot of times that's a result of their personality,
mhm.
what happens to them too, because they're always at a subconscious level, they're always afraid of losing, so they're trying to buoy up their status.
Mm, okay. Yeah, because I felt like he was just using me for his status. He took me somewhere so people
Uh-huh.
could see, oh, I'm with a young woman, and then I'm like, you're, ugh. And then I said, nice Range Rover, and he's like, well, the car note is X, Y, and Z. You want to pay for it? And I was like, okay, just take me home. This is not gonna go anywhere. So I don't know. I guess I have to affirm more that I only attract nice and wealthy people and keep repeating that until it happens.
Well, for a relationship, yeah. I mean,
Or even a friendship, or even having a conversation, like, I only want to attract nice people with a lot of money or without, but
right. Just you attract nice people, and you know what? Don't worry. You don't. Here's the other part. You're trying to attract somebody that's rich. Who cares?
mm-hmm.
You just be rich.
Say that again. Okay. Okay.
Because you don't actually need another human being around you to be rich for you to become rich. Now, you'll probably in your journey, God in the universe will direct you towards people that probably are,
Mhm.
just to help you understand and recognize and feel what it feels like to be that way, to give you those opportunities to make it a little bit easier for you. But there are people that become rich without being rich first, and without somebody else, rich being there for them.
Mm, I like that.
Yeah, just be rich yourself and be nice yourself, and then that's what you'll attract. And then somebody will come along that you won't need their money, and they'll be nice, and they might be rich anyway.
Still give me their money most likely. No.
You won't need it. You won't need it.
I
That's
won't need
I'm
it, little
messing
book.
I'm messing with you, but I'm not. Because if that's your program, that you got to find someone that's got the money to take care of you, then
Uh-uh.
what you're gonna get stuck with.
I don't want that. There's a meme that says, don't look for a rich husband, work on becoming a rich wife. And I like that. It's like, don't look at people to be your savior. Just be that, and you won't need them. You just
Mhm.
enjoy them. So that's
And
not work.
and what I'm trying to share with you is separate the two and be both.
Okay.
You're not a rich wife. You're a wife.
Right.
And and being rich and being a wife have nothing to do with each other
You're right.
necessarily, right? Be the best wife you can be, so you get the best man you can find, if that's what you're looking for. And then also be as rich as you want to be. They're not separated at all by each other.
And I would start being rich in my mind first.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about the other guy.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I don't mean this specific. Don't worry about any guy in that
Any
sense.
guy.
If from a relationship, and by the way, that's somebody I coached and have been coaching recently one-on-one. When I coached them, the first thing they wanted was money, and that got accomplished. And then they said, I want to continue on. I'm like, great. And then they wanted a relationship. They got him one at a time. He wanted the relationship during the time he wanted the money, and vice versa.
Mhm.
But for him, it's important when we talk about our subconscious mind to recognize that it's just easier to get your subconscious mind to accept something if you can repeat it more frequently. And so by only choosing maybe one thing or two things that you want right now, you have other things you can want throughout the day in your life. But if he wasn't trying to focus on the relationship and the money at the same time, is what I'm getting at. He focused on the money came. He focused on the relationship came, the money didn't go away.
Mm. Okay. Very helpful.
Cool.
Thank you, Kevin.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Any additional questions or comments? Wow, you guys are chill today. Seriously. I see Landon laughing. I'm not sure what you're laughing about, but he must have got whatever he wanted out of life already.
I'm working on it. No, it's just funny. It's, everyone's in here to learn, and yet we're still just sitting there not asking questions. I think it comes down to like, what questions do we ask? So this weekend I went, shopping with my wife, and we were walking around, and we were returning some stuff at Lululemon, and I'm trying to get into the vibration of I can buy basically anything in the store. All this, money is in abundance, and I'm holding on to that like feeling. And then I look up, and right behind the cash register it says like, get into the flow of this feeling or something. And it's like you see these signs that kind of cheer you on along the way. And so it feels good in the moment, and I feel like I'm doing great. And every once in a while I'll feel like a little bit of doubt come in, and then I just like, try to push that aside. And then I can feel my subconscious kind of fighting me later on this. And so, just trying to go over more affirmations and trying to get that concept to be locked into my subconscious is, my goal right now. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with everything that's going on.
Cool. Next time you go out shopping like that, whether you're buying or shopping or whatever you're doing, might want to play a little game with yourself, maybe you and your wife. Play a game that you just received a check that has to be spent before the end of the day for X amount of dollars.
Okay.
And then go buy, mentally, emotionally, go buy everything. Take a $10,000 check into Lululemon and see what damage you can do.
Okay.
Go
Oh,
place.
yeah. Okay.
Go place it. You know what I mean? I mean, if stuff, if you shop somewhere, like you wouldn't walk into, Rolex with only 10 grand, you'd be like, I could buy the battery, right? That wouldn't be no fun. So walk into a Rolex place with 500,000 or something, right? Walk into some place, everybody do this. Walk into a store, and don't go online, by the way. It's not quite as fun. And we're already stuck doing everything online right now anyway. So remember that thing called a store we were allowed to go into about a year ago? Go in your mind, use your imagination and go there. Matter of fact, okay, this just came to me. You guys play with this if you want to. I think it'd be fun. It'd definitely create a conversation for the next couple of days. Every one of you has been granted $50,000. You just received a check today for $50,000. You have to spend it before Christmas. Go shop. And by the way, you're not allowed to spend it on anyone else than yourself in your immediate household. So it's you, your significant other, and your children probably in that household. This isn't the game to play that I'm going to give it all to charity. You can give 10% to charity. There you go. So out of the 50 grand, you can give 10% to charity, tithing, however you would do it. But you need to spend between $45,000 and $50,000 on yourself and your immediate household before Christmas. And you're going in your imagination. You're not doing this online. You're actually going to get into the car, get on the bus or subway, however you transport yourself around. Maybe use some of it to take a limo to go shop. But you're going to treat it as if COVID doesn't exist, and you're going to go shop. And you've got to spend it before Christmas. So everybody's got 50 grand to play with. Now you guys might disappear on me the next 2 days if you don't want to tell me what you've been buying, but hopefully you'll come back the next 2 days and share what you went and bought. With
Kevin, hi.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
this is Dara. I typically mostly listen while I'm working, so
okay.
I don't usually typically engage as much in the sense that I'm listening, but I'm just not necessarily checking in.
Okay.
But I just had a question about your 50K that you're giving us.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I already just spent it. I bought a Tesla.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
I have 3 kids, so I don't know. I think I need more.
Exactly. This is an extra. Here's another 50K.
That didn't cut it. That was too little.
That's awesome. Yeah. Go spend another 50,000. Go spend another 50,000. Have fun with it. And congratulations on your Tesla.
Thank you. I just turned 50, so that would be a nice birthday gift too as well.
There you go. Cool.
So I want to share.
Hi, Francine.
I want to share that I ordered the book, The Magic.
Mhm.
And when it came in Saturday, I got right into it. And it's a 28-day process. And
Yep.
I am doing the 28 days. And I'm finding all kinds of things that I'm finding out that I have been doing and thinking some things that were wrong and that did not help me through my life. even though I was very successful at times. And not doing too badly right now, but not where I want to be. So basically, with the reading today and the homework that I am currently doing with the book, I think it's very helpful. And I just thought I'd let everybody know that in case they wanted to take advantage of that knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you, Francine. Thank you. Thank you.
On that note, I want to share as well. I don't know if this is helpful to anybody, but I'm in a transition right now in life. Well, not just the fact that I just turned a big number, but I also recently went through a divorce, and I am kind of trying to reset up camp. I have a new place of my own, and I'm just setting that up and all kinds of stuff. Just trying to mostly do personal growth and development and understand myself better and be able to manifest what I want on my next chapter, whether it's, another relationship and what kind, and just what I want in the future going forward. And so I recently just have been on YouTube learning different types of things. And one of the places that I was looking at is called Mind Valley,
Uh-huh.
which, I enjoy a lot of their programming. Some of them most of the ones I've been looking at have been free ones, of course. But for some reason, I was compelled this weekend to sign up for a class, which is, it's called, I believe, the Life Book by Misty and Jan Butcher. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of them, but they do a seminar called the Life Book. And they're a couple, lovely couple, based on the videos that I've seen, they look very successful and seem to be living an amazing life. They're called Jan and Misty Butcher. And so anyways, I listened to master class on them for free. And then I decided to sign up for a program that you can actually be refunded. It's a $500 program, but you can finish it. And then when you do the whole complete course, if you want to, you can ask for a refund. They will give it to you. It's guaranteed. But it's basically maps out your life. It's like 12 categories that you go through of your life in areas, and you complete this book basically. And it just kind of helps you. It's like your North Star, as what they say, your North Star, your guiding principle of what you want in all these 12 areas and in your life. And so it kind of just helps you make decisions, just, to help guide you on what you want and get clarity, I think, mainly on all of the things that you're thinking about. So anyways, I signed up for that, and I just wanted to share that and see if anybody have ever heard of it or know anything about it or is interested.
I've heard of Mind Valley. I haven't heard of them specifically, the couple you're talking about. But my advice to anybody on all of this stuff is, hey, if you feel guided to do something, do it. That's, if it's intuition, inspiration, revelation that says, hey, do something, then do it. Even if it's scary, even if it's out of a comfort zone, whether it has a guarantee or not, whatever. Because God and the universe know what you need. We got to get good at listening and following through when they help us. And good job.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely have never done anything like that, and I felt like for some reason I need to do that. So I'm definitely excited and looking forward to going through that process.
Very cool. Well, hey everybody, it is time. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the